change my mic up a little bit. Welcome to the Five Eye Visions channel. It's me, Ray Rose. Although I think I'm gonna go by another name. Ray Rose is like my stage name for my music. I'm gonna go by Uitomi. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So it's Uitomi, right? And today I wanted to really talk about something that might not really seem like it's that important, but I do want to talk about Lil Nas X and his Halloween costume or whatever he's doing. I really want to talk about this. So as we know, in entertainment in Hollywood, they have a real obsession with putting black men, essentially making black men women. You got Tyler Perry, we got Martin Lawrence. Well, Tyler Perry, Medea, Martin Lawrence with Big Mama, which is basically one of the biggest roles he's known for. Recently, Lil Yachty done the dressings. I'm pretty sure Terry Crews has done it once or twice. The Wayans brothers with like white chicks. It seems like it's. I don't know if I know. I feel like it's a yearly thing, right? For like a famous black man. Oh, Sean Connery is dead. We're gonna talk about that later. I'm gonna have to do this in his voice in memoriam for Mr. Sean Connery. But I would like to say, so it seems like a yearly thing. And do I have an issue with it? I don't have an issue with what he's doing. I have an issue with what he's representing. So, if your phone screen doesn't break, this is what he's dressed up as. And, it's just weird, dude. It's weird. I mean, like, he could do what he wants. People could do what they want. That's what they do, right? But this is kind of taking it to another level. Because, see, the thing is, it's like, you would not think that's a guy looking. Like, you really, like, if you gotta notice the neck and the whatchamacallit, his jawline, that's probably the only peak. Because, now that I think about it, I know a lot of girls with really big hands and long fingers, so that's not really as much of a giveaway as you think. But, like, there's probably a lot of straight dudes out there that was like, damn, what was this? Because, they see what's up top, they see what's on the bottom, and they're like, oh, I can see it from the front. And, to me, it's weird. Because we've got a lot of things going on right now in the world, and I'm not saying Lil Nas X has to be, like, really complicit with the dealings of black men in the black world overall. But here's some just an example I want to go through, right? Okay, so I was scrolling down through his feed just to look at what else I could look on now. And he wanted to bring attention, like, in SARS, right? Right? So, and then I looked also what he showed, what he was dressed up for, like, last year's Halloween, right? And to me, it's really funny, right? The difference a year can make and what can happen when black men get that pedestal from Hollywood. You've got like real masculine bravado because he's copying the whatchamacallit, Cameron, his iconic pink suit with the phone. Look it up. Look up Cameron, pink jacket. It's one of the most iconic visuals in hip hop history. It's just a lot of it's so much drip that you might drown in it. And Halloween 2019, Halloween 2020, keeping up with the pink aesthetic, but it just goes to show how Hollywood wants black men. To me, they want them to mostly be women, but they want black people to be looked at as this. This is really what they want. It has that feeling of what's the word for it? Not coon dancing. Something about it's like a show. It's cooning though. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. Minstrel. It's minstrel. It just it has the minstrel feel. Because like, let's think about it, right? Like, Lil Yachty, previously, he did Oprah's bank account with Drake and the Baby. They tried to make a hit out of that song, right? They were trying to do something, because Lil Yachty hasn't really been doing much lately. His albums suck. His music is uninspired. He doesn't really care about being a musician like that, right? And it seemed to me he was trying to take advantage of, like, LGBTQ, I can't pronounce it correctly, being at its peak height in popularity. Because also that whole movement seems to be peaking to me, because there's so many other things to really care about, whether it's like police brutality or the economy all over the world failing. You got SARS, you got protests everywhere. Their movement really is just like, when it's peaked, okay? It's just not something people are going to think about, because it's much more pressing issues for everybody as a whole. So, like, we can't really focus so much on one group of people now. Everybody is catching the smoke all over the planet. And I think Lil Yachty was trying to take advantage of that movement to kind of be like, well, everybody loves transgenders people and people who pronounce themselves like, hey, they're them. You know, it's not as serious trying to dress up as a woman for fame and to get some clout as they probably used to be now, right? Because beforehand, you kind of had to be in a movie role to do that. Otherwise, it'd be like, are you gay? You know? And that song flopped because it was a clear cash grab and stuff. And now we've come to Lil Nas X. And Lil Nas X is really I don't think he's popular really, like, because he had Old Town Road, that was huge, and Panini was kind of good, but like, honestly, I've never heard that song once, because dudes as popular as him, I don't really try to check for the song, because I expect to hear it in the radio or the club or something, and like, I didn't hear that song anywhere. I feel like that song probably only was prevalent in areas where it's like a huge LGBTQ, I can't do it, LBGT, LBG. I'm gonna just call it LBG, okay? In a huge area with a huge LGB presence. Maybe it's like, I don't know, I'd have to assume New York, California, DC, maybe. And I mean, he's probably gotten some more platinum racks from streaming, because it seems like he has a really big fan base. But he's really not produced anything, and that's why it's really clear this is like a Hollywood cash grab, because this dude is really, he's like, he's kind of like trending towards that OT Genesis and designer when it comes to his music, because really he's not really significant. He's a pop star, and even for a pop star, I'm not seeing him on no placements. I haven't seen him do anything with a guy like Post Malone. I mean, of course, Cardi B, and I guess Nicki. I'm not so sure if he's done something with Nicki yet either. No song with like Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande. I just don't know where he's at right now. I don't know what's going on with him, because it's just like, for a popular artist, he's really not popping. He probably should have been in the WAP music video if he was going to look like this, right? And that's how I know it's just like Hollywood or entertainment industry is just trying to put him out there, because he's been silent for so long. Like, there's just nothing coming from him. What's the best option? Dress up as a woman, get everybody looking at you. And this is my thing too. Like, he has 5.3 million followers on Twitter. He has 6 million followers on Instagram, and that's mostly for children, right? Because to be honest, it's kids who really, really, really love that song. And this is just why I just take an issue with him doing this. I know it was pretty fun for him and everything, right? But he's basically trying to provide like a representation of black men as being effeminate and as essentially being black women. Because you gotta really consider his reach. Is that Trevor Noah? That better not be. That look like freaking Jalen Rose's son or something like that. And look at him. He's trying to have himself like some little masculine bravado stuff. And it's funny because it seems like he goes back and forth between that feminine and masculine, right? But anyways, this dude really isn't. He's not really putting out music. He's not really consistent with it, because, like, confirmed songs for Lil Nas' debut album. Did it already debut? Let me see. Oh man, it's just a thread. I haven't heard it in the industry. Okay, I'm not gonna listen to that because it just sounds like trash. you know. And if we kind of like look here, I saw a picture of him, and it seemed like he been really hitting the gym heavy. He probably got a good amount of HGH going, you know. And it's just kind of funny because, you know, now that I think about it, it just makes more like, look at this, right? This scares white people. This scares them a lot. Because honestly, he was skinny last time I saw him. Like when he came out, he was really skinny. Look at this dude's body. You know, that's a great body. You know, he is really in shape. And I got to give him his just due because I don't look nowhere near that. But think about it, dude. This is for a music video, right? He is trying to appeal to women. This is what they want him to do because, I mean, I guess you could try to appeal to gay guys with that, but that's not a big enough population to really get you some good income in the music industry. Women are really big on music and music consumption. So this is who this is for. And you go from that, and then later in the month, you go, where is it? I could just click it right here. To this. Okay? Something's going on. And I can easily see the rug being pulled. You know, what did I have this window open for? Okay, same thing. And to get to the meat and bones of it, right? This is kind of what it's just things his following is too big to ignore. That's the thing. He just has if you combine his Twitter and his Instagram alone, I don't even know what his Snapchats or Periscopes, whatever else he has. Instagram, Twitter, you're talking about like a max if everybody was different of like 11 million, but since a lot of people are following him on here, on this and there, I'd say probably about 9 million people total, give or take, follow this dude. So whether you like it or not, he has big flexings in the black community, and from what I've seen from a lot of younger black kids or young black youth, mostly from women. A lot of them are really into this dude and they follow this dude, even though his music is just forgettable and he's like a 1.5 hit wonder. When he represents himself like this, because of how big his following is, 400-some thousand likes, he's a representation of black males, you know, because his image is so widespread. And I just don't, with everything that's going on now, it just goes to show you how, like, off code the industry really wants us to be. We got a lot of things going on right now. And, you know, he's an entertainer. This is why we got to stop looking at entertainers so much. Because I guarantee you, if he says something like white men need to pay for crimes and stuff, people will look at him like he's some kind of hero and be like, yes, yes, yes. And then he does this, which shows you he's not really serious about what's going on, because he's willing to let himself be represented as a woman for some clout. And it's just kind of, I mean, I'm just going to be honest, because I just don't agree with representation like this. Now, him wanting to do it is him wanting to do it. I feel like you should do what you want to do if it's not hurting others. But ironically, this kind of does hurt the image of the black man. And if this video ever does some kind of numbers, even in like 1,000 views, like for you young black men out there that want to be in the entertainment industry, you need to really mind yourself, and you really need to be honest with how far you're willing to go. And what do I mean by that? Because in the music, movie, TV, entertainment industry, right? It's run by people who are going to go for what's popping, what's ever going to make either a lot of money or a lot of attention to parlay in the money. And if you want to be on the level of a Lil Nas X, what are you willing to do to be at that level? And that's the thing. Not even stay at that level, to be. You know, you got to be willing to do homoerotic things like this to truly, because the thing is, when they control you with those contracts, and the fact that you only got on because you got lucky because either your song popped off or they just picked you to make something to pop off, You're, to be simply put, you're not gonna keep it up. You won't. They hardly ever do. Like they're called one hit wonders for a reason. It's too hard to keep putting it on, and you can kind of tell the difference when it comes to guys like Logic and Post Malone. Is they could have something blow up, and they could just keep blowing up because see they get looked after in their industry because they don't want their image to be this. You know, now that I think about it, it's just like it just makes sense when you just put the puzzle pieces together. This dude doesn't really have good music. He hasn't been consistently putting out bangers because when you a pop star, you gotta be consistent. You gotta put out pop. It's gotta be popular. It's gotta be popping. His shit don't be popping. So that's 2. 3, he already tries to look masculine, as evidenced by that video he was trying to he shot or whatever. So he already trying to look masculine, and him doing the Cameron thing, it lets you know he does look up to masculine figures. But then he does this at the end of the month because nothing's going on for him. You know, this is black people have to, you know, I can't say black people because if we keeping it real, black women, they definitely support this. When it comes to the black community, it's either black children or black women that are really going to be in his corner and really go for this and accept this and be like, this is what we want. Black men are conservative, and something like this is weird. Simply put, I won't call it an abomination or whatever because I'm kind of past that. Because I feel like if someone's lost, they're lost. I feel like he's just lost. So I don't know what he's trying to do. But black men, this is not what we want to be. I don't even think a lot of gay black men want to be represented like this because the whole issue with the whole with like cross-dressing and like trans rights and everything is because you have men here acting, they're trying to be women. They're trying so hard to be women that they get thrown off a natural equilibrium. And if we're keeping it real, right? Who really looks at a lot of like hyper feminine acting gay black men and trans men, women, whatever? Nobody really takes them seriously. People in the LGBT community, they take them seriously. Everybody outside, which is like 99% of the population, they're like laughing stocks to us. Because as natural as you want to make it seem, to the rest of the population, it isn't. And it's just a minstrel. This is stupid, okay? It's Halloween, though, so it's the festive spirit. But let's keep it real here. It's weak. And this is what black men, like, this is what the powers that be, this is like emasculation. This is what they want us to look up to. And it sucks because, see, the thing is, as I've said before, it took me a while to round back here, but he is very popular with young black boys and girls. And it's, as a young black boy who definitely had Twitter, because kids at 11, 10, 12, 8, 10, 9, 13, they got Twitter. They be following this dude. When they see this, they're so young, I'm pretty sure some of them are going to be like, okay, this is weird. But a lot of them are going to be thinking this is like the new normal. And just the way he's posed and presented, it's like, that's another thing I'm just thinking about talking at this. This dude appeals, most of his fan base is children and Fortnite people. And you're presenting yourself as someone as hypersexualized as Nicki Minaj, as a man. Like, look at this, dude. That's who most of his fans are. So we have a whole bunch of kids seeing this. You know, they want this to be like a new normal. And when you have a black man being represented as this, you know, it just shows you who they are. This is why we've got to support black men, black people, but black men. I'm talking to you guys. If you want to do music, we got to leave the industry. Stop. Just stop it. You don't need the industry no more. If you want to be a Lil Nas X, you do. But if you really want to get on in music, you got to be your own boss, or you got to get someone to manage you well, and you got to just do your own thing, okay? Because you're not going to be successful unless you're willing to put your soul out there. Because honestly, if you following him, I've known about Lil Nas X since the song, and the most extreme he's really gone with is like his ideas and like his suits, even though that was kind of a one pressing right there. But if you kind of look at his suits, he was representing himself as like a really flamboyant dude, but like kind of like Prince. You know, there's some drip to this. I don't know about the fingernails, but there's some drip with this. There's some style with this. You know, it looks kind of cool. It's kind of suspect too, but he has that like that really flamboyant late 90s movie character in a sci-fi or like a comedy. You know, there's some swag with it. So I would have to doubt whether or not like this is something he really wants to do, but he knows the implications of it, so he's going to go with it. And I feel like if you're willing to do this, you don't believe in this. You really don't believe in this. Okay? Because if you're willing to let yourself as a black man have that kind of image, then you don't want black people to take black people seriously. I can't take you seriously. I can't take your opinion of SARS seriously and you look like this, because this shows you're on the other side. You're on their side when it comes to their perception of us, you know. And I don't expect you can't really expect him to get white people, other races of people to care about SARS. But when you as a black man allow yourself to be represented as a black woman physically, visually like this, right? And also, this is set up. So you know this is something that was planned. He probably threw the idea and someone took it seriously and he's like, oh crap, I'm with a contract. How am I supposed to really think you really care about black people all over when you should know that the image of the black man is one of the very reasons we get killed by police. We kill each other. Nobody takes us seriously. We get basically harassed. You know, people cross the street when they see some of us. If we're the least bit tall, people get hyper intimidated and imposed by us. You know the black man's image is critical in how people sees us. And we really can't turn it around, because now it's amazing. We're getting to the point where people used to look at black men as scary thugs. Now they're looking at us as like fairy queens. I'd almost rather them look at us as thugs, because at least I would rather them have fear than to be entertained by us. I'd rather you look at me and be like, I don't want to be around this dude, than look at me and be like, haha, that dude's gay as hell. And you know, one of the few last points I'm going to point at, because I'm in between whether or not I want this video to be long, because I want to say something that I feel like is really important. But the way I see it, you know, a lot of these entertainers and celebrities, they're cap as hell, because they will say, oh, we support this, and oh, you looking fabulous, boo boo, all that. Like let me look over here. Man, iHeartRadio, whoever this dude, they're all like, oh, nice, he looks so yada yada and all that. And I guess this is like older stuff. Look at this, entertainment, variety. They're all owned by the same companies, right? So of course they're gonna all like talk about it like it's so important and like repost. But these people don't care. I know these people do not care this much because they didn't care in the past. The whole LGBT thing wasn't really important until the late 2000s, early 2010s. But pretty much every time period before then, Hollywood entertainment, they did not care about black people that much. They cared about them enough to have them set up working, but when it came to overall scale and their image and how they're perceived and stuff, they used to mock them. They were a mockery. Now all of a sudden they flipped the switch. Like, they really care about... They don't. They're laughing behind their backs. Because they're like, oh my God, we got another black man to get in the dress in front of the whole world. I can't remember the last time a famous white guy has made himself try to look like a bad bitch. You know, except for what's his name, Bad Bunny. Oh, compared to Bad Bunny, you're like, you can just look here. And of course, the only other guy we could really think about it being a Latino guy. It's like, come on, they're just so obvious with this stuff. It's weird. It's weird. You know, black men, we gotta be on code, dude, because these are in the end of times for real. They're trying as hard as they can. And I can't wait for the great reset to happen. I can't wait because this our society is too freaking lazy to think for itself. And we have too many people out here giving power to people that are just taking advantage of our stupidity and our herd mentality. When this reset happens, I'm okay with people, like certain people, losing the things they have. I know it hurts to say that, but some people out there, their mind is too much in the matrix, and they need to not have money to be able to buy these people's albums, or to be able to go to their concerts, or be able to afford phones to stream their music, or have a car to listen to them on radio. They need to be tossed out the matrix. And for some people, in order for that to happen, they must lose what they have. They need to lose these distractions, because we're getting to the point where we think our distractions are essential to our living. We think we need this music to live, that we need to follow these people on Twitter to be truly entertained and to truly have something to do. These people need to lose access to these luxuries, because it's clouding their perception of what's really important and what's really going on. It makes no sense to me why this dude even has this many followers. He had a couple good songs, but it took him like a year or two just to do it. It was so quick. It was like, really, what is there to really follow? And to a degree, now I kind of do get it, because I've seen some of his posts on Twitter. He is kind of a funny guy, but he's more of a personality than he is an artist to me at this point. And you know what? It's whatever. You know, all this shows is black men. We gotta make our own entertainment business. The time is now. Everyone's slandering Ice Cube, but you know what he did with the Big Three? Big Three, one of the most entertaining basketball leagues in the world, made up of former NBA players, former NCAA players, legends, all that. It's like, it's a great mix. It's perfect for what it is. And it shows that we can do these kinds of things. You know, I feel like if I have enough money, I want to have my own like black music academy where kids can come learn jazz and rock and hip hop and stuff like that. You know, have my own ranking. Like, I've always dreamed, right, of having like a college basketball, a college sports ranking system for up and coming musicians, you know, where it's like in each state you see who's like on top by like their followers and their accomplishments, their albums. You get to see like a generalized like score of like where most of their like pro or like accredited reviewed albums and mixtapes are. You get news on them. You see who's who in each region, each state, things like that. You know, we can do things like that. We have enough money. We have like $1 trillion in spending power. We can provide ourselves with what we need when it comes to entertainment. We have to stop letting these white-owned and influenced corporations decide our image for us. And I know a lot of you guys do want to sign with big labels, but if you're not willing to sell yourself as a slave to these people, because what you need to do is you need to build yourself up, because a lot of these artists that they try to pass off as rappers, they just don't deserve it. They really don't, because they're not good and they don't have skill. This dude barely was rapping. He started out trying to rap and be a pop star. He was barely rapping, and then it just happened. He doesn't deserve this. He really doesn't. Okay, he got lucky. He isn't really providing no good music. He doesn't deserve it. A lot of these guys don't deserve it. You need to get to a point where you're good enough and you support yourself enough, like Nipsey Hussle or Freddie Gibbs, that when you do sign that deal, they have to listen to you, because they don't have to listen to you at the start. And that's the issue. If you have no leverage in your business decision when you try to sign these deals and stuff, you have almost no choice but to take what they give you. And I know it can be hard that you could have hundreds of thousands of dollars to $1 million or two on the table, but think about it. If you don't do good enough, they can shelve you and basically end your career. So that $2 million you got was good for a couple years. Now you can't really make music the way you want to for years on end. So you lose more money than you gained from signing that deal. It's really not worth it for a lot of us. And with the way the internet is now, with the way black people should, I know we're not really united, but it's easier with the internet and everything. We need to provide our own systems of entertainment. We need to support each other, okay? We just need to support each other, and we need to get away from this. Anyways, hit the 30-minute mark. Don't want to go too hard about it. Final words. Rest in peace, Sean Connery, for having one of the funniest dictations of voice I've ever heard. And I'm channeling him to tell you that this is all a mirage. This world that you're living in is controlled by only a few people, even though there are billions of us. Why? Why does this exist? Do you know why this exists? It's because a couple people understood that they could influence billions of people. That they could make a mockery of black people and make them think it's empowerment. And make them think that people are laughing at them, but lauding them. And you want to know why it's so easy for black people? Because they don't have any families. They're all raised by their mothers. Of course the mothers love this because it's our image of them. Our image that they will never achieve. Big boobs, big small waist, big butt. Even Nicki didn't have that. She had to get that. And the young boys that come up under them. Of course, this is what they want in a woman. And when they press this, that's what they'll make them think, right? That, hey, he may be a guy, but he has the body of a woman. Oh snap, look at that hole. It feels like a woman. It should feel like a woman's hole, right? And if I get with this guy that looks like a woman, well, I don't have to pull out because he won't get pregnant. And then, because he won't get pregnant, they'll have enough of us getting with these people that our population will go down. Well, little do they know that for white people, their populations are dropping. And for black people, the only thing keeping our populations going up is because niggas are too stupid to pull out of the women. But I digress. That's enough for me. Told channeling Sean Connery. Rest in peace. And I'm out. Oh, wait. Now I'm out.